Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the annual meeting of the Council of North Norfolk District Council on Wednesday, May the 21st. Please can I request that all mobile phones are switched off or placed on silent, and if the fire alarm sounds, or in the case of emergency, please follow the officers. So we're going to commence with Chairman's communications. Please. Okay, thank you. Next slide. Okay, well, this was the opening of the back stage refurbishment at the Pier Pavilion, which seems like an awfully long time ago, doesn't it? When we were still wearing winter clothes. And it was absolutely fantastic. We had a very nice tour of some rather gorgeous spaces that everyone was absolutely thrilled to be in. And so I think this will be a huge difference to the performers and much needed. So that was very, very nice to see. Okay, Emma. So this was the West Norfolk High Sheriff's Justice Service, which was very well attended, actually, and full of cadets, of sea cadets and air cadets and police cadets and army cadets. And that was very uplifting, actually, to see so many young people doing wonderful things with their lives. This was the Bretland District Civic Reception, which was a very nice evening. The canapes were absolutely delicious. We enjoyed lots of them, and it was a very nice evening. It had a mini panto that was very amusing, actually. It was very nice to go to. And this was my civic reception at Norfolk Wildlife Trust Clive Visitor Centre, which was absolutely stunning, and I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you did as well. And we had everything from origami to bird bingo, so it was a bit of something for everyone, and it was an absolutely gorgeous evening, and we showcased the Clyde Marshes brilliantly. Then we had our networking event for the community dementia groups, which we had 60 people attending, sharing ideas, and it was absolutely wonderful. Everyone had a super time, learnt lots, and hopefully we're going to continue. And we had the most wonderful thank you cake. So Kay, thank you very much indeed for creating that. It was absolutely beautiful. Then we had Making Connections, the songs that won the war at Hobbiton Making Connections cafe, which was those wonderful army songs that make you want to hum along. And it was really lovely to see all the guests from the cafe having such a wonderful time. And then I went to the palace with my clerk, who was my +1, and there's a photograph of me with a rather handsome gentleman. And it was pretty amazing to go behind the gates, actually, and to see everybody. And there was actually another person from Clyde there, so there's not often two people from Clyde at the Buckingham Palace, I must say, on the same afternoon. So that was rather fun. And this was BA Day celebrations of Blakeney Harbour Rooms, which of course is the Royal British Legion in Blakeney, one of the first to be founded. And that was a very nice evening with some very good swing dancing. I didn't take part, though. So just to put you at your ease. And then we had VE Day celebrations here, which were very thoughtful, I thought, and very well done. So thank you, Kay, for organising that. And then we had another service in Blakeney for the VE Day, which was very well organised. We had the chaplain, county chaplain from the RBL. So that was a great pleasure. And then finally, another VE service at the cathedral, which was very well attended with lots of standard bearers and very brilliant way to tie up the VE Day celebrations. And I think that's it for what I've been doing. Okay, so it's been a huge honour to be chairman of NNDC, and thank you very much indeed for giving me that opportunity. When I started my chairman's year, I thought there would be value in shining a spotlight on all the wonderful work in North Norfolk supporting those affected by dementia and their families. And I've been dazzled by the treasure chest of care, inspiration and dedication that I've discovered. I visited the wonderful community groups offering support to residents with dementia and their carers. I've been humbled by the passion and compassion shown. We are hugely fortunate to have so many volunteers making such a difference. The high point of the year was our networking event in April, where we brought everyone together to celebrate their fantastic work and share ideas, inspirations, and experiences. This was incredibly well received and hopefully will have some momentum in the future. Several new dementia community support groups have formed this year, which will benefit even more residents across the district. In addition, I'm hoping Norfolk Wildlife Trust will start a Forget-Me-Not birdwatching group in Cley. You have all been incredibly generous in supporting my charities, 4 small local dementia groups which depend on donations for their survival. Making Connections on the Broads from Hobbiton, the Wentsome Dementia Cafe from Fakenham, Memory Lane Cafe from Munsley, and so ... from Southretts. I'm very grateful for your and the public's generosity. With your help, we've raised an amazing £5,000. I would also like to thank the community connectors for all their help in getting me off the ground and along the way. And I wouldn't have managed to achieve my goals without the corporate PAs who have been outstanding in their support, going far beyond their remit. And thank you so much. Can I now invite representatives from the charities we've supported to step forward so that I can give you your cheques? Yep, luckily it's expanded polystyrene, so it won't be very heavy. What I've done is wait. Right, So finally, Kay, I wanted to give you a small token of thanks for all your hard work throughout the year, which you've been absolutely amazing to work with. And nothing has been too much trouble for you, and you've been an absolute delight to work with. So okay, so agenda item 2 is to elect a councillor to hold office as chairman of North Norfolk District Council for the forthcoming municipal year. I will now take nominations for chairman of the council. Councillor Adams.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Councillor Peter Fisher, please. Thank you.
Lovely. Is there a seconder? Lovely. Are there any other nominations? No? Okay, I hereby declare Councillor Fisher. Oh, we need to take a vote on that. Oh, yes. Sorry about that. You almost escaped. Yeah. Well, you're bad luck. So can we have a vote for that, please? All those in favour? One. Unanimous. Yep, lovely. Okay, well done. Congratulations. And okay, I invite you to receive your chain of office, and you have to join me at the front for a photo opportunity.
Hang on, I've got to get mount these steps here. And before you go, we should thank you for all your hard work. And we have a few gifts here for you.
Oh. Wow.
It's a bit like Cracker Jack.
No, I think we'll have to fight.
Well, I don't know.
I love it. Thank you very much. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's gorgeous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Someone will be sitting, someone will be sitting in that chair.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Thank you very much. Oh, well, thank you for electing me. I didn't think 6 years ago, when I had little idea what I was letting myself in for, really. My fellow conspirator in mirth and misjudgment, who's left me now, persuaded me to stand in the 2019 elections. And no doubt he's looking down and grinning. My charity for the year will be the Norfolk Charitable Trust. The trust is dedicated to helping those that have been challenged by the world mentally or physically. Individuals and groups are assisted in absorbing the healing delights of the North Norfolk countryside and coast that we all take for granted. The trust will share a presentation of their work with us at the July meeting. They have the thing called a wheelie boat, and the wheelie boat will be stood outside for us to trip over, hopefully. So I'm hoping that will happen. And I have to read this out, and you've challenged me because I've tried to make a slight amendment. I, Councillor Peter Fisher, having been elected to the office of Chairman at North Norfolk District Council for the civic year 25-26, do declare that I hereby accept the office and will fulfil the requirements of that office to the best of my ability. So we're at agenda item 4, and it's the election of the Vice Chairman of the Council. Do I have proposers? Councillor Netherway.
I'd like to propose Matthew Taylor, please.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Vickers. Are there any more proposals?
I'd like to propose Luke Patterson.
Thank you, Councillor MacDonald. Is there a seconder? Thank you very much. Councillor Punchett. Right, we have to have a vote then. We will take Councillor Taylor first. Those in favour of Councillor Taylor, please raise their hands.
Sorry, can you count again?
Oh, can you keep your hands up, please? Higher. So that was 20 and Councillor Patterson. Yes.
Could we have another count, please, if they can raise their hands? No.
So that was 12, so 20 for councillor Taylor. Councillor Taylor, you are duly elected. Would you like to come and join me? This becomes yours.
Thank you very much. You'll crown me as well, there you go. Big old house.
So someone to sign. We just have to sign. Sign. What's it? We are at agenda item 5. Ask our leader to speak on this.
Very gladly. Victoria, Councillor Holiday, thank you for being such a wonderful ambassador for the council over the last year. And many congratulations for your year as well, and all of the efforts by yourself and officers and everyone else involved in the charitable fundraising efforts and awareness raising efforts that have occurred. Very seriously, you've been a voice of calm actually in a time of significant emerging change, and we're very grateful to you for that. I think you've done an extraordinarily good job, and it's been valued by everyone across the council. So thank you ever so much for having committed to the role and having done such a good job of it. And I certainly do propose that vote of thanks. Thank you.
Do I need a second offer? Yes, thank you very much, Victoria, for attending all the things that I didn't get a chance to. Right, we're on to agenda item 6, and it's apologies for absence.
Apologies received from councillors Brown, Beauty-Cofer, Dixon and Leith.
Thank you very much.
Also, can I just add there was apologies from Councillor Spagnola as well. I presume so, yes, sorry. Councillor Liz Withington did indicate her apologies by message to me. Apologies that wasn't reported. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're on to agenda item 7, which is the minutes of the last meeting. If I call the pages out, if anybody's got anything to amend, if you give me a shout. So we're on page 1 and page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12, and the 13, which has very little on it. No, nothing. Jolly good, thank you very much. I need a proposer and a seconder, please, Tim. Oh, yes, that's the shy seconded. Oh, yes, we have to have a vote, please. Show of hands, please. Do we have any declarations of interest in the agenda? Any items of urgent business? There are none. Now we're on to item 10, and we'd like to ask Leader to speak about this, please?
Thank you. Well, first of all, Mr. Chairman, just wanted to congratulate you on your election as the first speaker, and also to yourself, Councillor Taylor, for becoming Vice Chairman. I also wanted to congratulate again for the second time Councillor Tom Fitzpatrick on becoming Chairman of the County Council yesterday. Look forward to seeing all that you do over the next year as well in that role. And a fourth, congratulations to Councillor Conor Rouse on his by-election victory. And thank you, of course, to all of the other candidates, electoral services staff and everyone else who engaged in the democratic process, and we wish Conor well as a new councillor. I also wish to thank all members and officers for their commitment and hard work over the last year, and it's in this time of significant emerging change, and despite so many numerous challenges with so many plans in the shredder, frankly, because of the government agenda, we are collectively still achieving a significant amount, and various teams within the council have been appraised highly by their peers nationally and considered to be among the best in their various fields. And it's wonderful to have seen that staff commitment among groups such as the planners and the revenues team being recognised in this way. And across the council, we've seen such commitment with examples such as the planning service improvement plan completed and very continued low levels of appeals lost, and a very highly performing team they are, the planners, and strong delivery of the UK Shared Prosperity Fund and Rural England Prosperity Fund funding, and continued high levels of business occupancy across the district, and that's translated into growth in business rates again because of the efforts of teams like our revenues team. And we've seen significant achievements of East Law over the last year, of course, in securing payment of some long-term debts, among many other complex issues, of course. Another carbon busting project with the Victory Pool solar array, and very high levels of success in distributing housing benefits, adaptation funding, securing funding for health, well-being and financial inclusivity initiatives, and ongoing work towards the provision of the swimming pool in Fakenham, which indeed comes to the Development Committee at the end of the month. Our environmental section is facing everything from private water supply testing through to brown-tailed moths, HMO inspections, and even plastic nurdles, of course, licensing policy reviews, and so much more in between, and doing it exceptionally well. We've seen the coastal defence projects in Cromer and Munsley, and further development, of course, of the Coastwise project. And of course, supported by services across the council, such as IT, our printing, our communications, our post room, customer services, democratic services, HR, our corporate PAs, and of course, our managers and directors who keep us moving and engaged. Without all of you, without you all, the organisation simply would fall over. So I thank you all for your work over the last year. More recently, the Norfolk councils have received limited feedback from the government in the intervening weeks on the initial proposals for local government reorganisation. And you recall there were 8 Norfolk authorities. We've all received that feedback. However, as expected, this did not specify exactly what outcome the government would want to see, when we are consequently all spending money and time developing what are essentially rival plans and proposals, which is somewhat disappointing. I think the government could give us a steer as to what they want. The government did have an opportunity to save the authorities that money and time, I think, in this respect. And whilst Norwich and other cities have been mentioned several times by ministers of parliament, no such commitment or steer has been really given since the white paper. However, subtle appraisal was given the potential for a Norwich unitary and proposals for a single unitary arguably received the most pushback, with some concerns over the size of a single unitary area compared to the mayoral combined county authority area. And I think what they're getting at there is the risk of having a single authority so large that the mayor and the council are really treading on each other's toes, competing for space. But this goes back to what I've said before. The competition is really, as I see it, between the 2 and the 3, and we remain the majority in supporting the 3 model and to try and keep local government as local as possible. Possibly some of the most interesting news over the last month, at least externally, is of course the re-awarding of the blue flags at Seapalling and Munsley. In addition, of course, to the retention of the awards at Sheringham West and East Runton and Cromer. And those flags were, of course, lost for reasons out of our control, but we now have 6 blue flags again, which is a significant number compared to similar sized authorities. So big thank you from ourselves to our officers in these communities for their continued commitment towards this high profile accolade, which we would only receive due to the many discretionary services, in fact, that we provide across the council. But certainly this is a significant achievement for our environmental and leisure services, but also others who contribute along the way, including property services and estates, and of course our communications team. We seem to be dipping our toes in and out of summer on a week-to-week basis at the moment, but it does appear that the early signs are very good, with, as I understand it, 13,000 more transactions on our car parks in April over the same period last year. And that excludes, in fact, the app purchases. And I hope businesses are benefiting from that level of footfall. But initiatives such as the blue flags hopefully contribute to our offer and invite people to come here. Also of significance in most recent weeks has been the feedback from the Government Planning Inspectorate following the local plan hearings. And for some of us, including myself in Cromer, but several other examples across the district, which I cannot speak to personally, it was a difficult read, given the possibilities of development occurring in locations that have been, in some cases, deeply opposed for varying reasons. And of course, we must allocate land for development and housing growth, and the scale of that expected growth has increased significantly under this government. But the feedback does go a long way to give us confidence that we will at least get a local plan, which is a monumental achievement for the officers and others, including many of you around the room and former councillors and many others. And it's taken a significant amount of work and a long time to achieve. And this will help ensure that we do not have unabated speculative development across the district. And that's would be the price for not having the plan. But I also, in respect of housing and the homelessness pressures that do exist there, I'm pleased to announce that by the end of the financial year, we aim to have 31 temporary accommodation units, which are already helping numerous households, including single people and families with children. As you've seen, there have been frequently numbers exceeding 80 children in temporary accommodation over the course of the year. These properties will not only ensure those families have somewhere whilst long-term accommodation is found, but also continues to save us money with the alternative expensive holiday accommodation. And to confirm, this is in part putting the use of the second homes premium to good use. I would also like to mention our coastal practitioners in hosting the 2025 Coastal Practitioner Conference last week at Cromer Pier, with visits to Trimmingham, Bacton and Haysborough as well. And so many younger people starting careers in that space across the country now, which is wonderful to see. And the Pier of the Year worked very well as a conference location, which I hope to see again. But lastly, I want to remark on ongoing commitments of our property services team. And there are always ongoing projects for them, including, as I understand it, currently the Leeds Playground in Sheringham, but various others upcoming. But after some significant challenges with the utility providers out of our own control, the new public toilet facilities will be open at Albert Street in Holt this weekend, providing another high quality, accessible toilet facility. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Adams. Are you happy to take any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Right, we're on to item 11. Management restructure and arrangements to recruit a director of resources. Officer Bledge.
So as per the introduction to this item, with both the changes in personnel and the demands placed upon the authority in terms of the need to focus on devolution and local government reorganisation, it's necessary to carry out this restructure of the council's senior management. It's obviously relatively modest in terms of scale, but the net changes will result in one less director, but one further assistant director, so not a headcount change as such, but importantly create the room for these very significant strategic considerations of the council through a slightly different distributive leadership model. And it's obviously necessary that we bring those changes to you today. There's obviously been some discussion about it already around the council's group leaders, and it will be necessary to raise the Employment and Appeals Committee to deal with the appointment. And of course, we've got an Employment and Appeals Committee subject to those appointed members agreeing to serve on it when we deal with the next following items. And of course, members of that committee will be involved with the appointment process. So that's as per point 2 of the recommendations. And you wanted to sort of clarify the wording of that a little bit. Thank you.
I wonder if I could, for reasons of accuracy and efficiency of process, as there's no need for members to nominate members to sit on the EAC at this evening's meeting, I would propose that recommendation 2, the wording is changed to agree that a politically balanced employment and appeals committee be convened to support the recruitment of a director for resources.
Is there anything I need to do in terms of formalising that, or is that as you've just read?
Yes.
Okay. Therefore, I propose those recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Adams. Seconder, please. Vote, please. Show of hands, if I may. Thank you, that's unanimous. So we're on to item 12. Who's fighting for this?
So thank you again, Mr. Chairman. So of course, the Section 151 officer is a statutory requirement of the council, and this proposal will result in an interim arrangement, an interim solution in terms of provision for Section 151 officer. So I thank officers for taking the time to discuss this with our neighbours, and that seems like a realistic way of achieving that. And there's probably little more to say other than the details are set out within the paper. So obviously happy to to take any questions. But this is obviously normal procedure after the departure of a Section 151 officer, that you would fill the vacancy, and that will occur with a permanent appointment. But it's necessary to do this in the interim. Thank you.
Do we have any questions then, please? No? We'll have a proposal. then.
Proposed.
Seconder? Councillor Toy, J. Vote then, please. Show another show of hands. Right, we're on to agenda item 13, and this is the review of the political balance. It's just about the calculations, and so again, Councillor Adams to introduce, please.
So obviously, I'd like to thank the Democratic Services team for the time they put into working out a formula I will never understand in terms of the proportion of councillors per committee. And obviously, there have been some representation changes in the council over the last month. So it's necessary to review the balance regardless, but of course, that's something that we would do at this time. So the detail is set out within the report. Of course, there might be some points of clarification that members want to raise if they haven't managed to do so elsewhere already. And I move the report and recommendations. Thank you.
May I have a proposal then, please? And second, Councillor Beattie, in first this time. And another show of hands, please. Use the other hand. We are unanimous again. Thank you. So appointments, item 14. Again, that's you, I'm afraid, Councillor Adams.
To clarify, there are no changes to appointments to the cabinet. Thank you.
There's no vote required on that. You'll be pleased to know. And item 15, there's the appointment of members and substitutes to committees, subcommittees, working parties and panels. Councillor Adams.
Probably the point at which I need to take some guidance. Are we doing this committee by committee, or I understand we have submitted lists of proposed members to the officers, which isn't accurate within the agenda. So yeah. I'm happy to, we either go through the committee list or.
Yes, committee by committee, we think is better.
Yeah, okay. So obviously it's necessary to do this on an annual basis in terms of appointing committee members. And again, those balances have changed slightly as a result of recent political representation changes across the council. So I'll come back when we know which committee we're looking at first.
If we go through the order that's in the paper, so everything's written on. If we go through the order that they're on, Appendix A, so it would start with overview and scrutiny.
So
Right.
just to read out then the Liberal Democrat appointments to the committee, it will be Councillor Jill Boyle, Councillor Andrew Fletcher, Councillor Mike Hankins, Councillor Paul Heinrich, Councillor Sol Penfold, Councillor Phil Bailey, Councillor Al Gray, Councillor Conor Rouse with substitutes, Councillor Roy MacDonald, Councillor Peter Fisher, Councillor Emma Spagnola, Councillor Martin Beattie, Councillor Kate Lees and Councillor Don Birch. Don't worry if you haven't written all that down because it has been submitted by email.
Councillor Cushing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, as you can see written down there, myself and Councillor Holiday, and also in addition, the vacancy will be filled by Councillor Bayes.
Thank you very much. And councillor Puncher.
Thank you, councillor Housden, and myself as substitute. Thank you.
Chair, for clarity, I think that we're going through the list for members of the public because you've got an updated list of nominations in front of you. But obviously, in terms of people watching or public record, the last minute appointments aren't reflected in the papers that was circulated with the agenda.
So we're happy to go on to the Development Committee. Councillor Adams.
So there are no changes to the main appointed councillors, but I will be adding substitutes with Councillor Kate Leith, Councillor Mal Gray, Councillor Connor Rouse. Of course, some members have to undertake training. Just remember that is open to anyone across the council who hasn't already done that. There are essentially, that unlimited substitution is there. So it's something that I would encourage your members to do at some point if they haven't done already, is to serve on a development committee. There's competition to be there, of course, as it's quite popular. Don't let that go to your head, Councillor Heinrich. So that's our appointments, just the changes to the substitutions. Thank you.
And councillor Cushing again.
The change to the list, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, councillor. Councillor Punchard.
Councillor Patterson on the committee, and myself and councillor Housden as substitutes.
Thank you very much. We're on to Governance, Risk and Audit. Again, Councillor Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Very simply, I'm adding a further substitute, and that is Councillor Mike Hankins. No other changes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Fisher.
As written, Councillor myself and Councillor Holiday.
Thank you. Then I think we're on to Employment and Appeals Committee. Councillor Adams.
Thank you. As is in front of us, adding Councillor Sarah Breachcoffer. Thank you. As a substitute, I should have just clarified. Thank you.
Councillor Cushing.
No change from me, thank you.
And Councillor Punchard.
As per the record, thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we're on to licensing. Councillor Adams.
Yeah, so this list isn't quite up to date because I'm no longer to serve on the committee. I've turfed myself off. So the makeup of the committee will be from the Liberal Democrat perspective, Councillor Peter Fisher, Councillor Don Birch, Councillor Andrew Brown, Councillor Martin Beattie, Councillor Jill Boyle, Councillor Emma Spagnola, Councillor Liz Withington, and following the training, Councillor Connor Rouse, Councillor Callum Ringer, and Councillor Kate Leith.
Thank you very much. Councillor Cushing.
Yes, one change there, Mr. Chair, and that's replacing Councillor Mancini Boyle with Councillor Taylor.
Thank you very much. And Councillor Punchard.
As per the record, thank you.
And then we are at the Standards Committee. Better make sure we're on the same page. Councillor Adams.
Sorry, just to clarify, we're at the Standards Committee.
Standards Committee.
So I wish to add two substitutes, and that is Councillor Kate Leith and Councillor Mal Gray, as we heard the details in front of you there. Thank you.
Councillor Cushing.
No change. Thank you.
No change.
No change.
Councillor Punchard, no change. Right, oh yes, Joint Staff Consultative Committee, Councillor Adams.
No changes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No change.
Discussion, no changes. Working parties. We need to go through the same process. Appointment of members on working parties then, councillor Adams.
So, are we doing collectively or, one by one? Because I can say that I have made no changes, to either of the working parties, or panels. Thank you.
Councillor Fishing, looking at
I've made no changes.
and councillor Punchard.
Yeah, councillor Luke Patterson as the independent member of Planning Policy Built Heritage and changing myself to the substitute member.
Right, then. So we now need a proposer and a seconder, I think. Will you propose, councillor Adams, councillor Beattie seconding? Oh, and a vote, yes, of course. Show of hands, please. Unanimous. So where are we now? So representative, national and national bodies, do we, have we got through all them to be?
Yes.
To everybody. Right, I think we're appointment of chairman to committees. Agenda item 16.
Need to put the mic on.
We'll get there eventually. Sorry about that. You've missed out member development, council tax support and constitution working party.
Thank you. I understood they were all taken
We took
together.
them all together.
But well, I've still got a vacancy on my papers unless it's been updated with the on member development.
If there's still a vacancy, then it would be possible under the previous recommendation in regards to political balance for a group leader to subsequently put forward an additional member to sit on that committee if there's no one at this time, if it remains vacant.
You happy, councillor Fitzgerald?
I presume they'll appoint somebody eventually as a Lib Dem vacancy.
Yes, that's correct. Councillor Adams.
I will appoint when the matter becomes more pressing to do so. So just to clarify, obviously, members can switch committee appointments, outside body appointments, working party appointments in the interim, of course, as well. So we'll probably do that at a later date. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Adams. So we're on to agenda item 16, the appointment of chairman and vice chairman to committees. Do any of the group leaders wish to speak?
Can I suggest we take committee by committee? If that's what we need to appoint to all of them, even if there are no changes, is that correct practice, or do we only deal with changes?
I think it would be possible, except for the vacancy matter, if there are no proposed changes to the papers that have been published, it could be taken en masse, save for the overview and scrutiny committee.
Yes, councillor Adams.
So I do have a change to make in respect to the licensing committee, but perhaps if we deal with open scrutiny first. Okay.
Right, councillor Cushing, overview and scrutiny.
Yes, I'm appointing councillor Holiday. She's replacing councillor Dixon, who's decided to.
Thank you, councillor. We need a seconder. Thank you very much. And a vote, please. Show of hands. Unanimous again. Thank you very much. Councillor Adams.
No changes in terms of vice chairman at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now moving to, we're doing committee by committee.
I think councillor Adams has an amendment for the licensing committee. So if that's considered, and then the remainder can be taken together unless there's anyone
do
else
that
that wants
first?
to change. Mhm.
Right, we'll do the licensing committee first and then we'll do the rest on block.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for that guidance to the monitoring officer. And I would like to propose that Councillor Don Birch becomes chairman of the licensing committee.
And I would like to second that, please. There's a poison chalice, mate. And we need a vote, please. All those in favour? Looks unanimous again. And if we could take the rest of those committees on block, please.
We need to also select a vice chairman for licensing, and I would like to
Oh,
propose.
right, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, apologies. I would like to propose Councillor Emma Spagnola. Thank you.
And I will second that as well. And again, a vote, please. Okay, we are unanimous in that. Right, we will have the rest of them on block, and please. Councillor Adams.
I'm happy to propose. Thank you.
We'll have Councillor Fredericks this time as a second. And a vote, please. Unanimous again. Thank you very much. Right, we're on agenda item 17, which is the appointment of members to outside bodies. And they're all set out in the various appendices somewhere. Well, there we are. On page 43 onwards. Right, we'll take these on block subject to any changes. Is that okay? Do any of the leaders wish to speak?
Can I just query something? I see there is, I think I'm looking at the right place. A Coastal Partnership East, which doesn't exist anymore.
Does what page that is?
Can't find it now. Thank you.
All right, in the middle.
I think we're looking at. Yeah, so that's Appendix C. At the moment, we're dealing with Appendix A. If we could deal with that a bit later, thank you.
We do A and B together. Or...
We could do A and B subject to, I think, Councillor Cushing.
Yes. We're going to do A and B together, Councillor Cushing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to propose Councillor Netherway, who would like to join the Bacton Gas Terminal Environmental Liaison Committee, please.
Thank you. Do we need a vote? And we need a vote for that as well, please. All those in favour, thank you. Councillor Adams, seconded. Where are we now? Any change? Councillor Punchard wishes to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Just a point to note that's been brought to my attention that the Norfolk Rivers Internal Drainage Board meetings collide with overview and scrutiny all the time, and wondered if this could be some discussion between the two parties. So one meeting could be moved either way so that members who are on both could enjoy both of them. Thank you.
Yes, that seems like a good point. We'll have to deal with that on another occasion, I guess. So anybody else wish to say, we're still talking about doing Appendix A and Appendix B on block. Are there anything else? Is there anything else to say about those? No, we need a proposer and seconder then, please. We'll take them on block. It's councillor Punchard, councillor Bainton. And the show of hands, please. Now we're on to Appendix C.
This is officially very right, but I think councillor Fitch-Tillett wanted to speak in regard to this partnership.
Yes, would you like to speak about this, councillor Fitch-Tillett? The specific coastal partnership east point.
Yes, perhaps somebody can enlighten me, but as I understand it, Coastal Partnership East has been dissolved.
Right, thank you. Councillor Blathwaite.
I can confirm that, and Coastal Partnership East no longer exists.
Right.
I think in that case, we'll treat that as added to the list in error. And in any event, I consider that this appendix is for note rather than appointing, because the appointing body is the executive.
Right. So how are we going to deal with this now?
It's it's
Councillor
the
Allen.
note, so the appointments are my own. And I can, for information, and thank you for spotting the one that needs to be scrubbed out, councillor Fitch-Tillett. But yes, I can confirm, subject to everyone's continued agreement to serve in these bodies still, that they are accurate. Besides the one that needs removing. Thank you.
We don't need a vote on C. You'll be pleased to know. And it says here, item 18, we now reach the end of the meeting. There's no need to exclude the press and public, and I can declare the meeting closed.